was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I'd got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Ooh, yeah. I watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes. Turn and face the strange. Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes. Turn and face the strange. Changes. Where's your shame you've left us up to our next event? Time may change me, but you can't trace time. Strange fascination fascinating me. Our changes are taking the best.
Sorry. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, and laughter and strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of
Good afternoon, and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Zionsville Community High School class of 2020. Our prelude music, Guvot Unyundu, by Johann Sebastian Bach, was performed by Lauren Nielson. Thank you, Lauren, for sharing your talent to begin our celebration this afternoon. At this time, I would like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Scott Robison, to address our community.
Dear Class of 2020, I enjoy watching each graduating group grow into the sort of cohort-wide identity that those of us in service to youth notice about them. Class of 2020, you are smart, funny, talented, hardworking, refreshingly irreverent, and best of all, from very recent experience, resilient and able. Your capacity has grown as a result of the trials and changes foisted upon you throughout the past several weeks of the COVID-19 crisis. As we celebrate your accomplishment of high school graduation, we recognize that the world's response to the pandemic is still unfolding. Thus, workarounds, innovations have marked the final chapter of this leg in your journey to adulthood. I hope you have learned that invention is one of your skills, and that you need not wait for necessity to spark it in various aspects of your life and career. Change, you see, is a consistently present element in life, though the speed of it can vary greatly. May you hold as a lifelong asset the good fortune to have come of age in a community that genuinely values learning and all forms of positive growth. May you realize that your decisions, actions, all that you value, and your future good fortunes position you well to allow similar lifelong benefits to inure to those you love. Genuine respect and congratulations to you, and healthy, happy best wishes to you with your next steps in life, and always.
Thank you, Dr. Robison. I would like to recognize and thank our school board members for their leadership and support of Zionsville Community Schools. Participating in today's ceremony are the following members of the Zionsville Board of School Trustees: Mr. Joe Stein, President; Mrs. Debbie Ungar, Vice President; Mrs. Jane Burgess, Secretary; and members, Mr. Michael Berg and Mr. Michael Cousins. I would also like to recognize the staff members representing all 5 elementary schools, both middle schools, and the high school who were instrumental in guiding these graduates to this milestone on their educational journeys. Finally, please join me in recognizing senior class sponsors Lindsay Alessandrini and Candy Hayes for all of their work to organize and prepare today's commencement exercise. I would now ask Senior Class President Grace Karnuta to address the class of 2020.
Though today we are not gathered in the infamous and beloved varsity gym, I begin my speech by taking you all back 298 days ago to August 7th, 2019, the first day of school, to, in my humble opinion, an equally, arguably even more iconic ZCHS setting, the old auditorium/study hall room. With electric energy of teen angst sizzling through the air as assignments are scrambled to completion, desperate souls contorting into an unearthly position to scrounge up a couple extra minutes of sleep, and all the while with Sally relaying the hottest gossip to Tommy at such an astronomical volume no AirPod, even with classical music study on full blast, could muffle. This repurposed beauty ends up housing a large majority of ZCHS students at some point in their career. Many passing through, including myself, end up going their separate ways and decide becoming a teacher aide is a better fit, as you're not subjected to the scene I conveyed previously. But for that first month of school, containment inside the old auditorium is required. On that first day, sitting alongside the masses, as I shifted in my foldable chair hanging on by a single screw, an oddly comforting familiarity of the chaos in the study hall room I had come to know over the years sent a wash of nostalgia over me. And in that instant, the single notebook I had purchased for back to school became dedicated to recording our senior year. The final echo of Miss Winslow silencing us for attendance rang through the rafters, and despite my long-standing history of failed journals, I embarked on the goal of capturing the essence of our senior year through the art of a personal manuscript. I could not wait to account all the movie moments of my senior year that were ahead of us. With a number 2 mechanical pencil in hand, because wood ones are for psychopaths, and the wisdom and eloquence of all my years, I composed my first entry. August 7th, 2019. Already hungry and getting distracted. The next day, August 8th, my words were just as riveting. The school climate right now resembles that of an Amazonian rainforest, and I am not comfortable with the amount of odors I smell that I cannot pinpoint the source. Also, my water tastes like a spoon. August 9th. Good morning, Eagles. Gonna be a great day. Still hot and muggy in the school. Tired, but kinda energized. August 13th. Listening to my playlist from freshman year. My life has changed so much. I have a pit in my stomach. Good? ? August 14th. Received my planner and map today. Semi-anticlimactic. Block days taking significantly longer than expected. Rereading my journal and reflecting on the oddities of the study hall room highlighted for me the unique experience we have getting to spend 8+ hours a day together for 5 days a week for 180 days for 4 years. A blessing and sometimes a curse, many times a curse. Like the mandatory month in the old auditorium, we spend our days in one singular building, scheduled minute to minute with a set group of people, all living separate lives, all separate personalities, doing different things. But in this forced cohabitation called high school, we were given experiences, like it or not, that were all uniquely ours, class of 2020. We smelled those same smells. We lost the same sleep. We suffered the same block days. We failed the same assignments. We celebrated the same snow days, make the call, Scott. We questioned the same changes to senior privileges. We walked these same halls together. These 4 years were spent in high school were shared. In our personal lives, these were some pretty pivotal years. First romances, first heartbreaks, learning to drive, family dynamics changing, exposure to injustice in the world, meeting all types of people, making lifelong friends, the whole finding ourselves thing. So many monumental milestones and moments occurring, not necessarily school-related, but nonetheless, here we were, day in and day out, Monday through Friday, growing and changing inside this school together. Questioning who we are, what we stand for, what we want in life, all the while sitting in a plastic chair, similarly wondering why we are proving a triangle is indeed a triangle. It all happened here. None of the experiences exactly alike, but our common ground of the school bringing us back together day after day. The time, and it was a lot of time, that we shared and spent here is uniquely, single-handedly ours. We made it through here together as the class of 2020. All the people in this class, your best friends, just in school friends, the acquaintances, the teammates, the people you only know from a group project in U.S. history, we all morphed from prepubescent tweens to accomplished young adults side by side, and that is something truly collectively ours, class of 2020. COVID-19. When I began my composition of this here speech that aims to unify our class and reiterate the greatness of 2020, I vowed to myself that I would not give the virus the satisfaction of being mentioned in my speech. It had taken enough. That wretched submicroscopic infectious agent had made the iconic second semester of our senior year virtually, no pun intended, obsolete. Our 12 years of schooling would not be defined by 3 months that dissipated at the end. But whether we like it or not, the trauma and difficulty that has occurred over these past months, just like all the things we endured in high school, is a bonding agent for our class. All the individual, personal things we lost, though bringing bitterness, grief, and heartbreak, simultaneously brought another gained mutual experience for us to share. The unity our class shares is something we will always hold precious, and it is worth celebrating. Though now we venture into a future outside of the familiar halls of ZCHS, and the state no longer mandates our presence here, Zionsville will always be the home to once-in-a-lifetime memories and experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. It is my pleasure to present senior singers Olivia Broadwater, Rosie Inman, Charlotte Kauffman, Julia Rusyniak, and Geneva Williams. They will be performing In My Life, written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments. With lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meanings when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
We are proud of all of our graduates of the class of 2020. At this time, we would like to spotlight some of their noteworthy accomplishments. Each year, a number of our students exceed the requirements set forth by the Indiana Department of Education and distinguish themselves with certifications and honors.
This year, 297 members of the senior class earned the Indiana Core 40 with technical or academic honors diplomas. These students distinguish themselves by completing the most challenging curriculum offered throughout Indiana high schools, and their accomplishments are designated with an A or a T in the program. On behalf of the Zionsville Community Schools Board of Trustees, congratulations.
In addition to completing the requirements for the Indiana Academic Honors Diploma, the following students have earned the high level of academic achievements designated cum laude. Their bronze cords represent this distinction.
We now recognize the following cum laude members of the class of 2020. Fletcher Ives Birnbaum, Olivia Diane Broadwater, Robert Treadwell Campbell, Ella Marie Del Vecchio, Gigi Rose Giralti, Devin Kathleen Hardesty, Caroline Faith Hudson, Samuel T. Kidwell, Mollie Louise Krone, Benjamin Thomas Miner, Ethan Cole Moore, Carlos Javier Morales Hernandez, Edward Lawrence Morrison, Anna Helen Murphy, William Brinkmeyer Pitts, Sophie D. Regally, Karen Elisa Reyes Mann, Samuel Lincoln Robinson, Duncan Charles Rumbaugh, Peyton Lynn Scaff, Jerry E. Tang, Andrew Keith Tomei, Wesley Charles Turnbull, Camille Ann Weston, Kayla Marie Wilhoit, Adeline May Yates. Congratulations, cum laude scholars.
In addition to completing the requirements for the Indiana Academic Honors Diploma, the following students have earned the high level of distinction designated magna cum laude and wear silver cords representing this honor.
We now recognize the following magna cum laude members for the class of 2020. Elise Noel Abney, Sierra Nicole Allen, Margaret Mabel Brooks, Lauren Marie Campbell, Jillian Ann Cawi, Madeline Grace Chadwick, Matthew Yamada Crandall, Eli David Everson, Mackenzie Young Hall, Gwyneth Margaret Rose Hartzell, Zachary David Herbon, Nathan Joseph Cousseau, Maxwell Ryan Martin, Alexander Carpenter Meeky, Marjorie Lucia Mitalski, Alec Ferdinand Panunzio, Victoria Lynn Patelos, Celia Francis Reed, Sophie Lee Ritz, Ella Grace Stone, Rusvir Singh Trana, Alana S. Zhu. Congratulations, Class of 2020 Magna Cum Laude honorees.
In addition to completing the requirements for the Indiana Academic Honors Diploma, the following students have earned the highest level of distinction, designated summa cum laude, and proudly wear gold cords.
We now recognize the following summa cum laude members of the class of 2020. Julia Elizabeth Betts, Adriana Faith Black, Joshua Holden Bolds, Connor Michael Kniff, Kevin Daniel Chen, Tate Alexander Eugenio, Mahesh S. Gupta, Hadley B. Herbst, Tyler William Holly, James Yixing Lau, Beth Larson, David Ruyan Lian, Garrett Walter Momberg, Ethan Michael Perry, Sarah Diane Peterson, Caitlin Elizabeth Price, Elizabeth Ann Pine, Laksha Rajavelu, Sarah Marie Richardson, Abigail Rose Thielbar, Ryan Taylor Walter, Caitlin Alexandra Wasson. We congratulate these scholars for earning the distinction summa cum laude.
Class of 2020, at this time we recognize your accomplishments and contributions that distinguish you as members of the Eagle family. Members of the Class of 2020 have committed to enlistment in the military and pursue careers as a first responder. Your class includes exchange students and ZCHS students who have traveled abroad as part of their high school experience. Members of the class have earned an industry-recognized certification through coursework at the J. Everett Light Career Center. Members of the Class of 2020 include leaders of the Harbinger and Aerie staffs. The Class of 2020 includes members of all of our award-winning performing arts ensembles. Your class includes student athletes who have represented our community as members of one of our many accomplished athletic teams. You are members of more than 65 clubs who, over their 4 years at ZCHS, contributed nearly 50,000 hours of community service and raised $109,000 for charities. We recognize the members of the Class of 2020 for their dedication to excellence as students, protectors of freedom, global ambassadors, journalists, performers, student athletes, leaders, and philanthropists. Well done, Eagles.
Mr. McDaniel, at this time I would ask that you introduce the salutatorian and valedictorian for the Class of 2020. Each of these students has been presented with a medal in recognition of their outstanding academic achievements.
Mr. Stein, it is my honor to introduce these outstanding scholars. Mahesh Gupta is the son of Mangala Rusyniak and Samir Gupta. Mahesh plans to attend Purdue University and major in biochemistry. Please join us in recognizing the salutatorian of the class of 2020, Mahesh Gupta. James Lau is the son of San Mei Chin and Yin Bin Lau. James plans to attend Columbia University and major in neuroscience and behavior. Please join us in recognizing the valedictorian of the class of 2020, James Lau.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, family, faculty, and distinguished graduates, it is an honor to be recording this address for you all. Firstly, I want to thank the healthcare providers and first responders on the front lines working tirelessly to keep our community safe. On behalf of the class of 2020, we are grateful for the selfless medical work you do and the sacrifices you make for our safety. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the teachers, mentors, counselors, friends, and family for their endless support along our educational journeys that led here today. Classmates, many of us have been looking forward to this day the very second we stepped into the school in August 2016, but I know none of us imagined a virtual graduation. Nonetheless, throughout these past 4 years, we've endured so much, allowing us to grow and flourish as students, peers, and individuals. Through the death of Vine and the rise of TikTok, we adapted. Sitting through 90-minute lectures thanks to our new block schedule, we groaned. And in the midst of a global pandemic and worldwide viral apocalypse, we graduated. Our unpredictable journey from naive freshmen to the people we've become now speaks volumes about our resilience and optimism as a class. Today marks our transition into the real world. But the fact is, we're entering a world full of disparity, uncertainty, and chaos. This crisis marks a new beginning, and we need to embrace the fact that it's up to us to reshape the world into a more just, sustainable, and evolved place. Because class of 2020, we are the future. Coronation has undoubtedly affected all of us in many ways, from abruptly ending the cherished final semester of senior year, to canceling important events and sports seasons, to amplifying our senioritis in unprecedented ways thanks to e-learning. One could say we seniors have suffered the worst of it all. Although the disappointment may seem immeasurable right now, eventually it'll pass. What will remain after, though, is a story. In your days and years ahead, you'll tell the next generation and the generation after that back in the old days, with your perfect 2020 vision, you made history. In these final virtual moments together, we have to reflect upon the fact that we influenced Zionsville as much as it has influenced us. So I want you to think of the mentors and figures that have shaped who you are now. Think of the impact you've made on your school and your community during your stay here at ZCHS. The legacies we leave behind are marked by the powerful impact we have on others. So as we move forward, graduates, I know the lasting friendships and amazing memories I've made at ZCHS will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you, stay safe, and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, James, for your words that remind us the importance of resilience to make the world a better place. It is my pleasure to present senior singers Olivia Broadwater and Mahesh Gupta. They will be performing an original arrangement of I'm Not Afraid of Anything by Jason Robert Brown, and Maybe This Time by John Kander and Fred Ebb.
Jenny's afraid of water. I mean, she swims so well, but still she's afraid of water. So she won't go near the sea. Not me.
And Katie's afraid of darkness. I mean, she sleeps and all, but still she's afraid of darkness. So when the lights are out, she has to hold my hand. I don't understand.
I'm not afraid of anything, be it mountains, water, dragons, dark, or sky. I'm not afraid of anything.
Tell me, where's the challenge?
challenge if you never try. So watch me fly. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything, be it growing old or going out of style. I'm not afraid of anything. Who would give up what they want without a trial? Another mile, I'm not afraid. And I hear the calling of tomorrow, and I hear the pounding of my heart. The lights are ready, pulse is steady, I can start. Never stop the calling of the challenge, blessing on the water and the stones, and I am ready. I'm feeling lucky. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. Maybe this time they'll see. I'm not afraid. Lady peaceful. I'm not afraid. Lady happy. Of anything. That's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen sometime. Maybe this time. Maybe this time I'll win. Maybe this time I'm not afraid.
Thank you, Olivia and Mahesh. Class of 2020, it's been an honor to serve as your principal. As I prepared to address you this afternoon, I reflected back on my own graduation on a hot Saturday in May of 1982. I remember well the proud smile on the face of our class secretary, Kathy Shutley, as she led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I also remember the great mix of humor and conviction in the speech delivered by my friend, Class President Steve Masuccio. But what stood out with me most as I prepared for this address was what I recall of our principal's remarks. As I recall it, and I'm paraphrasing after all these years, he said, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." It's true. I don't recall a single thing he said that day. I remember my friends, I remember my family, and I even remember the names of the girl I marched in with. But Mr. Tile's words, I've got nothing. So I stand before you humbled and hoping that I won't blow my opportunity to leave you with one lasting, memorable insight before you leave Zionsville Community High School and head off to make your mark on the world. As you seek to define your future, it's my hope that you will look to the past for inspiration and guidance and look to the future with hope and optimism. In 1998, the American journalist Tom Brokaw profiled the generation who came of age during the Great Depression and who went on to serve and fight in World War II. Much like today, this generation faced threats to the economy, environment, and common good of all humanity around the globe. As we look back on this generation, we don't remember them as the Depression babies or the World War II generation. No, they became known as the greatest generation for their sacrifices to forward the common good of all humanity. As you look forward, how will the circumstances of your formative years shape your worldview and personal life mission? Like the greatest generation, your life experiences have included the September 11th attack on American soil and the Great Recession. In addition, We are now in the midst of the fight against a global pandemic. So how will history record the character of the class of 2020 and the impact you will make in the world? If your collective actions as the class of 2020 are any indication of what is to come, I believe you will become the next greatest generation. Through your life experiences, you have seen the interconnected value of the economy, environment, and common good of all humanity have as you assume a place as leaders in the greater global society. With these experiences, the values your families have instilled, and the friendships that you have made, and the educational foundation you built during your time at Zionsville Community High School, I am confident that your generation will create a better tomorrow for all of us. It is my hope that these words will remain with you alongside the memories Grace and James have shared, the music of your classmates, and the closing comments Makenna and Jillian will soon share, as inspiration to be the latest class to leave the nest of Zionsville Community High School and become the greatest generation of tomorrow. Congratulations, class of 2020. Superintendent Robison and Board President Stein, I hereby certify that each of the 479 students on the roll for the ZCH class of 2020 have completed the course of study as prescribed by the State Board of Education and the local Board of School Trustees. I present them to you as candidates in good standing to receive the title Zionsville Community High School Graduate.
On behalf of the Zionsville Community Schools Board of Trustees, I accept the class of 2020 as graduates of Zionsville Community High School. Congratulations, ZCHS class of 2020.
It is now our honor to present the members of the Zionsville Community High School class of 2020.
Brendan Scott Abbott.
Elise Noel Abney.
Brenna Marie Ackert.
Hira Ali.
Ethan Henry Aldridge.
Margaret Parker Allen.
Sierra Nicole Allen.
Wyatt Kincaid Anderson.
Ellie Renee Anderson.
Grace Anderson.
Zachary Charles Ikenna Onyebanam.
Henry Michael Asom.
Paige Alexa Atkinson.
Mason Caleb Austin.
Paulo Ferdinand Ios.
Abigail Elaine Bacon.
Nick Bailey. Andrew Baker.
Lauren Beno Baker.
Matthew Amando Beluya.
Sam Farmer Barrett.
Tyler Matthew Barrett.
Mara Ruth Bash.
Abigail Battisti.
Tyler Carl Bauman.
Allison Elizabeth Beck.
Brielle Renee Beckham.
Jacob David Bettinger.
Eli William Bell.
Samuel Cash Brendis.
Hayden Asher Bernard.
Caleb Barong.
Kevin Barong.
Abigail Elizabeth Berry.
Julia Betts.
Cody Paul Bevelheimer.
Daniel Allen Byer.
Fletcher Birnbaum.
Adriana Faith Black. Catherine Hope Mayor Botkin.
Jack Edison Bunnell.
Leah Marie Booth.
Aaliyah Jade Boots.
Holly Lesage Bostain.
Danielle Taylor Bedreau.
Joshua Holden Bolts.
Rachel Miriam Brainerd.
Jessica Noel Brewer.
Olivia Diane Broadwater.
Cooper Brockhagen.
Isabel Marie Brocious. Margaret Mabel Brooks.
Ainsley Dawn Brown.
Alexa Paige Brown.
Emily Nicole Brown.
Holden Martin Brown.
Trevor Wayne Brown. Kalen Lance Browning.
Nicholas Sean Bruni.
Lauren Elizabeth Bruns.
Yasmin Khalid Bashesh.
Clay James Burton.
Benjamin Drew Calkins.
Lauren Marie Campbell.
Robert Treadwell Campbell.
Zachary William Campbell.
Connor Dwayne Canfield.
Connor Michael Kniff.
Kathleen Ann Cantrell.
Aaliyah Carlson.
Asmi Carlson.
Joshua Robert Carney.
Christina Marie Carpenter.
Anna Marie Carter.
Jonah Elliott Carter.
Roman Walker Kashani.
Faustina Grace Cash. Jillian Cawi.
Ali Jalal Chetnock.
My name is Madeline Chadwick.
Colin Matthew Chase.
John Kenneth Cheek.
Kevin Daniel Chen.
Elizabeth Clifton.
Gunnar Kent Christensen.
Lauren Michelle Church.
Gabriella Marie Clark.
Harrison Andrew Clark.
Matthew Kirkwood Clark.
Peyton June Clevenger.
Matthew C. Clifford.
Ella Jane Klein.
Samantha Marie Klein.
Lillian Elizabeth Cole.
Brian J. Cole.
Sophie Collier.
Mason Brian Culver.
Nicole Alexis Cook.
Camden Alexander Cooper.
Fran Kaylee Kauser.
Matthew Yamada Crandall.
Michael Douglas Crane.
Samantha Paige Cunningham.
Caroline Blair Daly.
My name is Alina Damer.
Sasha Shanti Darty.
Jack James David.
Elliot Joseph Davidson.
Tom Davidson.
Amber Marie Dawson.
Elijah William Day.
Ella Marie Del Vecchio.
Jared Walter Dinneman.
Mina Marlena Denny.
Tyson Andrew Denny.
Wendy Michelle Deras.
Amy Elizabeth DeTherese.
Noah William Dexter.
Madeline Elizabeth Dollins.
Noah Domagalik.
Cole Michael Donaldson.
Margaret Lee Donovan.
Max James Doyle.
Merritt Elizabeth Duffy.
Sophie Dahl.
Nathan Carr Duncan.
Benjamin Alexander Dunning. Randy Austin Earhart.
Mackenzie Erica Echeverria.
Grace Elizabeth Egler.
Hayden David Elefante.
Corey Scott Ellsworth II.
Leah Marie Englert.
Tate Eugenio.
Eli David Everson.
Kylie Reed Fairchild.
Mackenzie Taylor Ferguson. Reagan Taylor Ferguson.
Maya Verzandi. I'm Anna Marie Fireball.
Ryan Guerin Flaherty.
Jeremiah Wayne Floyd.
Sarah Grace Falstad.
Hi, my name is Amber Forrest.
Christopher David Freeman.
Casey Nicole Fugate.
Elise Marie Gall.
Paige Pinson Gardner.
Megan Alexandra Goss.
Katie Josephine Guthier.
Jacob David Gay.
Daniel Alexander Genoa.
JC Morgan Gibson. Cameron Marie Giedel. Madeline Gilbert. Regan Elizabeth Gill.
Gigi Giralte.
Noah Gordon.
Autumn Denise Gore. Megan Elaire Gray.
Cameron Reed Greason.
William David Gregory.
Patrick Stephen Gritton.
Mahesh Sunil Gupta.
Tyler Gutwine.
Ethan Hagen.
Madeline Lucille Hale.
Mackenzie Yuong Hall. Miriam Linda Hamilton.
Brian Joshua Hamlow.
Kaylin Hammerly. Devin Kathleen Hardesty.
Abigail Corinne Harmon.
Kyle Joseph Harmon.
Gustav Miles Hartwig.
Gwyneth Hartzell.
Miles Austin Hayden.
John Stephen Heath. Zachary David Herbon.
Hadley B. Herbst.
Tyler Shepard Hetmansberger.
Kelsey Megan Haskell.
Caden Thomas Hill.
Caitlin Grace Hill. Quinn Eileen Henshaw. Hannah Elizabeth Hitch.
Andrew Joseph Halade.
Julia Lauren Hodes.
Makenna Therese Hoftiezer.
Dominic Curtis Hollifield.
Tyler William Holly.
Levi Davis Horner.
Sydney Kate Horow.
Gavin Howell.
I'm Jennifer Huang.
Katie Ann Huber. Caroline Faith Hudson.
Jackson Emery Hughes.
Josie Eliza Hughes.
Ellie Sue Houston.
Shayla M. Hutton.
Rose Taylor Inman. Elizabeth Grace Jensen.
Megan Mary Jensen.
William Kennedy Kappas.
Grace Josephine Karnuta.
Charlotte Grace Kauffman.
Jessica Juliana Kauffman.
Corey Russell Keene. John Philip Keller.
Mollie Elizabeth Kelly.
Spencer David Kent.
Samuel Thomas Kidwell.
Hi, I'm Yunhook Kim.
George Murray Kincaid.
Reagan Elizabeth King. Catherine Grace Kirkendall.
Carter Martin Klekowski.
Grace Augusta Kennett.
Allison Yawin Canola.
Ella Elizabeth Crine.
Molly Louise Crump.
Audrey Mae Cruz.
Joshua Todd Culler.
Nathan Joseph Kusa.
Alex Lamb.
Ethan Zachary Landon.
Christina Nicole Lane.
Elijah Lang.
James Yixing Lau.
Beth Larson. Claire Michelle Larson.
Sophia Isabella Laser.
Drake Allen Michelle.
Hector Iván Laverne.
My name is Tyler Duckley.
Alyssa Lee.
Wesley Lee.
Zachary James Leedy.
David Ray Yuan Lian.
Dustin Pearson Lightline.
Cody Dylan Lyle.
Jordan Lorraine Lingelbaugh.
Jacob Daniel Livesey.
Michelle Elena Lodix.
Christopher Michael Luciani.
Paulina Tangasi Lucio.
Evan Alexander Luker.
Maya Raquel Lynch. Isabella Rose Madrazo.
Maxwell Alexander McGlinty.
Garrett Walter Malborg.
Connor David Maltby.
Anna Elizabeth Mangus.
Keller David Chappelle Marquardt.
Maxwell Ryan Martin.
Maya Grace Martin.
Tyler Charles Martin.
Lorenzo Martinez.
Michael York Maslow.
Mollie Makenna Mayo.
Ian Michael McBride.
Reagan McCooey.
Duncan Adelbert McCourt.
William Bradley McCullough.
Cameron David McDaniel.
John Emerson McHale.
Mason Noel McNally Hendrickson. Taylor Joe McNally Hendrickson.
Elizabeth Ann Meads.
Colby Alexander Mellinger.
Troy Costin Michael.
Alexander Carpenter Miki.
Vaughn Brian Mihawk.
Evan Mathis Miller.
Faye Rosanna Miller.
Grayson Wayne Rabinalis Miller.
Caitlin Noel Miller.
Markiah Elizabeth Miller Keys. Rachel Mingus. Margot Abigail Minnick.
Benjamin Thomas Miner.
Marjorie Mitalski.
Connor John Robert Mitchell.
Joseph P. Mitchell.
Coleman Michael Modula.
Grace Menning.
Davis Bradley Moore.
Ethan Cole Moore.
Lucas David Moore.
Carlos Morales Hernandez.
Edward Lawrence Morrison.
Zachary Stephen Mullins.
Tessa Rose Muller.
Liam Mullins.
Anna Helene Murphy.
Carrie D. Myers II.
Madeline Myers.
Parker Lee Myers.
Atharva Sanjay Naik.
Nicholas Stephen Nash.
Allison Gail Nispinski.
Cole Sidney Niebuhr.
Brooke Kylie Nelson. Isaac Sean Nisbet.
Benjamin Allen Nickel.
Lauren Emma Nielson. Gabrielle Catherine Nunn.
Catherine Elizabeth O'Byrne.
Michelle Leanne O'Brien.
Brennan Richard O'Neill.
Evan Patrick O'Neill.
Aiden Jackson Overweiser.
Nicholas Charles Odell.
Kara Jean Orban.
Megan Annette Osborne.
Mario Palermo.
Annabelle Elaine Pancake.
Alec Panunzio.
Chris James Pappas.
Tyler Jacob Parker.
Madison Renee Pasquale.
Inaya Patel.
Lillian McElmurray Patel.
Victoria Lynn Patelos.
Zachary Michael Pulowski.
Arden Kiera Perez.
Ethan Michael Perry.
David Charles Peterson.
Sarah Diane Peterson.
Stephen Peter Peterson.
Will Rory Pfister.
Maisie Ann Fair.
William Brinkmeyer Pitts.
Hillary Wynn Pobans.
Aiden Powell. Reed Powell. Sterling Powell.
Virginia Powell.
Samuel Chase Pointer. Kaylee Marie Prather.
Robert Lincoln Pratt.
Arden Renee Priest.
David Valentine Price.
Caitlin Elizabeth Price.
Luke Washington Price.
Elizabeth Ann Pine.
Emma Josephine Rainey.
My name is Lakshya Rajavelu.
Miranda Ramirez. Madeline Grace Rank.
Jack Albert Rashi.
Jeremiah Anthony Rashkin.
Andrew Michael Rates Jr.
Rex Killian Reed.
Sophie Doris Regally.
Celia Francis Reed.
Anna Marston Repenning.
Logan Price Redinger.
Paige Elise Revercombe.
Karen Elisa Reyes Mon.
Reed Joseph Rice.
Noah Brandon Richardson.
Sarah Marie Richardson.
Maxwell Leon Ritchie.
Julia Elena Riddle.
Sophie Lee Ritz.
Liam Roach.
Samuel Lincoln Robinson.
Patrick Alexander Roebling.
Mackenzie Claire Rowe.
Samuel William Rhoda Autry.
William Michael Rubino.
Duncan Charles Rumbaugh.
Emma Catherine Russum.
Julia Helene Rusyniak.
Anthony Leon Sachs.
Jack William Sampson.
Ian Anthony Sands.
Madeline Marie Sotbine.
Anthony Jordan Scales.
Charlie Shackmuth.
Andrew Michael Shankerman.
Austin Mark Scheidler.
Carson Michael Scheidler.
Reese O. Schwaderer.
Bailey Anna Seiler.
Ainsley Marie Serbin.
Anna Kate Settle.
Nathan Alejandro Sevilla.
Audrey Lynn Sexton.
Samuel Sire.
Jasmine Alexandra Shaw. Bavli Maher Shihada.
Zachary Nicholas Sibylla.
Peyton Lynn Scaff.
Capri Mariah Smith.
Natalie Michelle Smith.
Danae Gabrielle Snyder.
Alina Eamon Thumro. Daniel James Soa.
Zoe Spray.
Justine Grace Stanley.
Rebecca Ann Stark.
Joshua Edward Starrett.
Jacob Alexander Stevens.
Vanessa Lynn Stewart.
Medhanit Helen Stoley.
Dylan Colleen Stoltz.
Ella Grace Stone.
Brooke Danielle Strickland. Shay Elizabeth Sullivan.
This is Jerry Tang.
Paulina Tangasi Lucio.
Alexandra K. Teal.
Heather Ann Toole. Abigail Rose Thielbar.
Andrew Keith Thome.
Imani Monet Thomas.
Troy Maximus Thomas.
Roxana Talento.
Lily Tamondo.
Emma Turnier.
Irene Emily Trageser.
Carter Krone.
Catherine Tran.
Rusvir Singh Trana.
Sarah Trepanier.
Brady Lee Trowbridge.
Wesley Charles Turnbull.
Charlene Michaela Omer.
Connor Jason Uptmore.
Jacob Matthew Valentine.
Gunnar Brock Venata.
Brendan John Van Winkle. Mark Andrew Varis.
Dominic William Vicarella.
William George Veet.
Ryan Nicholas Vespa.
Bailey Jewel Voorhees.
Andrew Waddy.
Dylan Wagner.
Mary Isabel Wagner.
William Alexander Wallace. Michael Allen Walpole.
Ryan Taylor Walter.
Caitlin Alexandra Wasson.
Ethan Michael Watkins Jr.
Chloe Ann Elizabeth Weaver.
Kennedy Weber.
Samuel McAllen Weddle.
Benjamin Michael Widener.
Emma Margaret Walbaum.
Nicholas Adam Whirling.
Camille Ann Weston.
Eli Ross White.
Birdie Trey Weitzel.
Jamila Rose Weesey Alabasi.
Kayla Marie Wilhoit.
Geneva Grace Williams.
Harrison Finn Williams. Henry Edward Williams.
Samuel Allen Williams.
Garrett David Williamson.
Caroline Rose Wilson.
Joseph Patrick Wiltrout.
Lauren Rose Winkler.
Cole Michael Wiseman.
Zachary Wayne Warner. Zach Worth.
Erica Kirsten Wujek.
J. Adrian Jocko.
Thomas Jan Jocko.
Alana Zhu. Adeline May Yates.
Madison Elizabeth Yates.
Miriam Amir Youssef. Sarah Amir Youssef.
Allison Zink.
As we close this afternoon, it's my pleasure to introduce Class Vice President Makenna Hoftiezer and Secretary Treasurer Jillian Cawi to lead us in the closing traditions of the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020.
As we come toward the end of today's celebration, there are many people we need to thank. Thank you to our parents, our friends, and our loved ones who have tuned in to celebrate our graduation with us. Thank you to the bus drivers, teachers, custodians, nurses, counselors, cafeteria workers, school leaders, and our senior class sponsors for guiding us to this point along our educational journey. Finally, thank you, classmates, for the friendships and memories we have built as members of the Eagle family.
Friends and classmates, as a symbol of our status as graduates of Zionsville Community High School, please join me in the time-honored tradition of the turning of the tassel.
leaves you high and dry. I'll be at your door tonight if you need help, if you need help. I'll shut down the city lights, I'll cheat, I'll beg and bribe to make you well, to make you well. When enemies are at your door, I'll carry you away from more if you need help, if you need help. Your hope dangling by a string, I'll share in your suffering to make you well, to make you well. Give me reasons to believe that you would do the same for me, and I will do it for you, for you. Baby, I'm not moving on, I'll love you long after you're gone. Sleep alone, I'll love you long after you go, and long after you're gone, gone, gone. When you fall like a statue, I'm gonna be there to catch you, put you on your feet, you on your feet. And if your well is empty, not a thing will prevent me. Tell me what you need, what do you need? I surrender honestly. You've always done the same for me, so I will do it for you, for you. Baby, I'm not moving on, I'll love you long after you're gone. For you, you will never sleep alone. I'll love you long after you're gone, and long after you're gone, gone, gone. You know I'm back, like I never left. I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. Been chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life is a peace of mind. Seeking to find I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride, and I'm straight. I'm on my way, I'm on my way. Get up my way, I'm running late. What can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is the last time that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, trudging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring. I got 20,000 deep off in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head. Whoa.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am. How could I forget? I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
I'm feeling glorious. The crib looking victorious. Oh yes it is. You know that we've been going it since we hopped out that DeLorean. Yeah, we went on guard. Things are just there.